Hey everyone, so you know that funny saying nowadays that it's impossible to be racist against a white person? Well, this idea has come up again with this debacle involving an article written by a Rudy Martinez in the college newspaper for Texas State University. In this paper, Martinez says that white people's DNA is an abomination, and that with, quote, white death, there will be liberation for all. Then Martinez continues by saying, quote, when I think of all the white people I have encountered, whether they've been professors, peers, lovers, friends, police officers, etc., there is perhaps only a dozen I would consider as decent. Okay, so this article was clearly filled with some of the most vile, vitriolic, and baseless things I can think of. But when asked whether or not this article was racist, the author stated that, no, it's not racist. Racist attitudes come from a position of power. The only group who have ever held true power in this nation are those who call themselves white. Okay, so I think we can reasonably refute the idea that only whites have held true positions of power, considering we had a black president for 8 years and 2 black attorney generals, a multitude of African American judges, and many black police officers who can certainly exert power over me as a white person. So it's just a factually incorrect statement to claim that whites have been the only true source of power. This also ignores the basic fact that of the hundreds of millions of white people who have existed in the US historically, almost none of them have had any sort of power. I am white, and even today I am totally powerless over the absolutely insane things that the government forces on me. So stop with this false, ridiculous narrative that your average white person has some sort of influence over the country. It's just simply hogwash. Also, like I said, Martinez claims this article wasn't racist due to racism only being possible through positions of power. So let's do the unthinkable here and actually look at the dictionary definition of racist and racism. Starting with racist, it's pretty straightforward. A belief that one's own racial group is superior or that a particular racial group is inferior to others. Now, I might be crazy, but the article Martinez wrote doesn't seem to hold back on the general notion that white people are inferior or at least a detriment to society. This kind of tells me that Martinez might be a racist. Okay, so now let's look at the term racism. That second one down seems to go along with what Martinez said. A policy, system of government, etc., based upon or fostering such a doctrine, discrimination. Okay, fair enough. But what about that first and third definition there? More talk of simply believing the superiority or inferiority of certain races, and especially that third definition, hatred or intolerance of another race or races. Could Martinez's article be any more hate-filled and intolerant of white people? The article is quite literally exemplifying the very dictionary definition of racism. Never be fooled by people who so clearly try and contort reality to fit their narrative, which is precisely what Martinez is doing here, plain and simple. So anyway, after reading this article, can it seriously be said that it's impossible to be racist against white people? If this article isn't a glaring example of insidious racism towards approximately 200 million people in the US, then I don't know what the hell is. Thanks, and that's all.